have a problem with society calling everything epic. Everything that people do nowadays, they're the GOAT, they're epic, this is epic, that's epic. Nobody tells the truth no more. I'm feeling some type of way this morning. I'm feeling some type of way because I ain't got my superpowers that Italy Chopper promised me. I ain't got no weed, and I ain't got no cigarettes. So you know I'm going fucking in today. Now, when you sit here and you call things epic, it has to be memorable and epic. The Verzuz E40 versus Too Short was not epic. It was not epic. I have a few reasons why. Well, first thing of all, Too Short, like, I seen Too Short and E40 perform at least, I seen Too Short perform like 6 or 7 times, because you know, like, I stayed by a whole bunch of Mexicans, and Mexicans love Too Short. Mexicans. You know what I mean? That, like, Too Short made majority of his money in his career off of white people and Mexicans. This one dude, I know his name is promoter, his name, I don't know if he wanted me to say his name, but this promoter from out here, where I'm from, this nigga was bringing Too Short down here at least once a week. At least once every other week, every 2 weeks, Too Short was coming down here. So I seen Too Short perform at least 8 times. I seen E40 perform at least 10 times. So I'm not talking from a different perspective. I can say that, you know, when Too Short came down here, like I said, it was always packed with a bunch of Mexican girls. I was in the Mexican girl field at that time. I was getting that Mexican girls. That's the only reason why I went. But his performance was nothing epic. It was nothing memorable. He went up there, he always mumbled like 2 or 3. He only did like maybe 2 or 3 songs. He never did past 2 or 3 songs. And, alright then, guys, I'm out of there. E40 did a lot more songs. He did like around, E40 used to do like around, 7 to 8 songs. But he was never that energized as he was at the Verzuz. I never seen E40 like that in my life. Ever. I'm related to E40. I ain't never seen E40 that turned up before in my life. I've been in a lot of concerts. Most of the time, he's just chilling. And, you know, he just standing straight, performing his verse. I never seen him dance a day in my life. Never. With that being said, I just don't like how it started off. It started off with hate. Too Short got on there. Oh yeah, we from the Bay, and we're from the Bay, and we had to work harder than people from LA, and LA rappers. All they had to do is make a rap and then go down to they can go down to the record store, the record companies, and get signed. We had to work harder because we didn't have record companies. We did not have record companies up here in Northern California. I'm from Central Coast, but there's no Northern California record companies. That is true. But to think that you can go make a song and go to a record company down there in LA and get signed that easy is false. So he started off hating right there. That's false. You cannot do that shit. I don't know what he was sitting here trying to tell niggas. You just can't make songs and go down to a record company and get a deal. It's not happening. If that's the case, there'll be a lot more rappers put on in Los Angeles. So, and then like, it's just that E40 had a better selection. You can tell that this was Too Short, very unorganized and very cocky attitude. Like, you know, I got this underneath the bag. I got hits. You know, look at my sales compared to E40. I got hits and I can outbeat E40. But keep it real with you, like, E40 just had better songs than Too Short. Like, Too Short probably sold more than E40, but E40 has better songs than Too Short. And you can tell that from display of his song, E40 songs and Too Short songs. Too Short has got over 20 albums. Think about it. This nigga got over 20 albums and couldn't put a 20-song selection together. That should tell you something. That should tell you about the songs you make. Like, every song damn near sounds the same. We listen to Too Short. Every song damn near sounds the same. Bitch, fuck you. I'm a pimp. Fuck you, bitch. And that's why I never really listened to Too Short like that. I liked a couple songs. My favorite album by Too Short, Married to the Game. That album was pretty dope. But other than that, it was the same thing. He always talked about the same thing all the time. Like, Too Short wasn't really... Like I said, Mexicans love Too Short. Too Short wasn't... People are throwing Too Short once in a while. But every day, people would ride around my hood bumping E40. I don't need no iron, I'm already creased. When Mouthpiece came out, I saw everybody was slapping Mouthpiece. I was going to school, nigga, everybody knew that song word for word. So, like, to me, like, E40 won because more people can relate to his music and relate to the times from different generations. So, you know, you got E40 in the 90s. E40 was a hustler in the 90s. In 2000, he joined the hyphy movement. He had to join the hyphy movement because Mac Dre forced everybody, all the Bay rappers, to join the hyphy movement. Mac Dre forced them. Mac Dre took over, and when he took over, at that time, like around 2000, 2003, when he took over around that time, hyphy movement, when he took over at that time, it was rap. It was a rap. After that, everybody was jumping, dancing on cars, popping pills, doing drugs. So it forced E40 and forced Too Short to make hyphy songs. No more mob material. We in the hyphy era. The worst era in fucking music history, life for me. It was cool when Mac Dre was live, but when Mac Dre died, it was the worst fucking era in history of music for me. So, like, you know, E40, that he survived through the hyphy era, then we went back to the mob music, and he's still making hits. He's still great, 50 years old, still making great albums, still making great songs. Got a new song called Mob. That song is good. And then, you know, you got Too Short, and you know, Too Short made it through the hyphy era, but then he started fading away because it's like, bro, like, you know, I don't know, you ain't can listen to Too Short for so long. And that's how it was for me in the epic battle. I mean, the Verzuz battle. I feel like every time E40 came on, I can never stop listening to E40 songs. E40 he could have put 10 more songs up there. I would have still been dancing, hot blood pressure up. You know, it ain't really good to keep dancing, blood pressure up and getting older. You know, I can't get hyphy like I used to when I was 22. I'm about to be 38 now. So, he put on a great performance to me. Like, you know, he tried to, you know, Too Short was hating because he wanted to end it early. He didn't practice for it. I don't think he even put his songs together. He was just going off request, and he was hating, and he's talking about, oh, well, we don't want to battle. We shouldn't battle each other. We should do a song together. So then they do a song that they put together. He does his verse. E40 waiting for his verse. He changed the song and do another song. Wait a minute. I thought we was doing a song together. Oh, he trying to do some backstab stuff because he was losing. He was being a sore loser about the situation. So to me, it seemed like Too Short was being a sore loser. He know he lost, so I'm going to put him as a loser because he know he lost. I just don't want to see no more verses, no friendly verses no more. Fuck all that friendly shit. I don't give a fuck if you best friends or not. When you get on that court, when niggas get on that court to play basketball or football, they compete, friends or not. That's what I want to see in his verses. I don't need to see no friends and stuff and remind you of the good old days and how we were cool. And